Accent on TV. Best of Poland and Europe. Right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hello. Accent on TV. The best of Poland, Europe, and the rest of the world. ILONA EUROPA, your host. Monday, we love this moment. We have our on-camera show. This doesn't happen too often. Not so many shows have the right to be taped, or they maybe do have a right, but somehow they don't. But we are here every Monday for almost a year. That's pretty cool, I think, and we have an amazing guest. ILONA EUROPA again has one more show, Accent on the radio for past 3 years, which I'm bringing to the studio, mostly people from all around the world that live in LA, or sometimes they're calling from far, far away. They have accents. Obvious, I have an accent. I will never get rid of this one. I love my accent. No choice. But that's what excites me so much, because the accent is always attached to life story. And life story seems like that's what people like to listen to. And now, not only we can hear the accent, we can listen to life stories of this amazing guest that I'm bringing to the studio, but now we can see them. And today is one of the shows that I think is worth to switch from the radio to the video channel and just see dynamics in the studio. People are hot here. Very, very cool, very inspiring, young, and creative. That's all what Accent On is about, and I think I'm proud of that. Then, okay, let's start introduction. First, I don't know if this will be Oscar or Grammys or Emmys or something. People will clap and they will be standing up. Somebody will make a great announcement. And I would love to do that, because I'm so honored to have Mona May with us in the studio. It wasn't easy to get Mona. She has no time. She's a very, very successful costume designer, Hollywood costume designer for so many movies that we run to the movies that we see sometimes many, many times, and then we try to dress like the stars, and sometimes we are even buying little tiny toys because we fall in love with the toys that she dressed in the movies. We will hear not everything, because I hope Mona will be back and we'll talk about all the movies that she was working on, and actors that she was dressing so well and so beautifully. That's why she's successful. 20 years in Hollywood, and her career is going up. And then we have dreamer like ILONA EUROPA, who I'm saying I never stop dreaming. I don't know where my journey is going, but somehow it's going somewhere. That's very, very cool. But then we all love young, beautiful human beings, artists, creative part of this world that really makes life beautiful. And today they represent many accents. What is your name, Mr. Devin?
My name is Devin Calderoni. And I like to be a accent dialect chameleon, and sometimes we have a lot of fun out here, surrounded by such beautiful accents, and it's always fun to try and understand them better and learn them better.
You're right. In the beginning, I was trying to call translator and say, this guy has an accent, we'll have trouble to understand him. Sometimes the situation is the same with me. I have this blank stare sometimes, like dark. I have no idea. I don't know English words for that. I can say in Polish, but nobody. I think everybody doesn't care anymore. That's the colorful people with an accent. Sometimes we have no idea what we are talking about, but we speak another language. Outside of it, a good one. Then respect, like I'm saying, like Borat says, respect. Okay, Devin. One more time. Yes, your name is not only English, but you're saying your parents have some connection with Italy?
Yeah, my last name, Calderoni, of course, originates from Calderon, which is our family-made black pots. So we got a really rich history with that. Really bold, proud name. But we, yeah, no, I love it. At least it has a meaning. So,
I don't like colorful. I like really white or something.
Well, it's old, yeah. It's old.
Like old European ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have the Scottish side. I guess I forgot to mention on the other show, but that I also have German roots as well. So there's quite a bit going on. So German, and of course, and then the Italiano.
Is it Scottish too?
So Scottish, yeah. It's a little bit.
Okay, we see most Scottish part in him. Look at this, yes, we have it. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Another beautiful guest. Your name is Rose?
Yes, my name is Rose. Thank you.
Look at her smile. Close the microphone, everybody, because I have yes. You are from?
So my name is Rose Wakesho. Wakesho is Swahili, and it means from tomorrow. So I was born in Kenya, and I lived there for 10 years. And I moved to Germany at the time I was 10, and I lived there for 16 years. So that means I speak 2 languages, Swahili, German. Hold a second. No, I speak 3 languages. I'm still learning English. Yeah, this is where my accent is. And yeah, I'm
The
an
accent
actress.
is beautiful.
Oh,
It's
thank
so
you.
royal. Yes, I hear little German, for sure. When you spoke, especially with Mona, which we'll talk in second, one more time with Mona. I try to introduce her the best way that I can, but we'll be back. Okay. But yes, you both were talking German. I'm like, hey, wrong show. English speaking. But no, that was charming. You both have, the German years in both of you and perfect speaking language. It is so good. And now you speak 3 languages. Again, Devin speaks 50.
I speak 1,000 islands. It's on my favorite on all my sounds. And 1 word from each.
And now we have our beautiful, wonderful, very, very creative and just successful human being in Hollywood, which stuff to really combine. I think it's not easy to call yourself successful for 20 years. We understand 5 years, maybe 10 years, 20 years. You're working this business for 20-something years, and you're successful, Mona May, and we need to clap because we love you. We love everything what you do, and I cannot even imagine that all of these movies that I have, right now in front of my nose, and I want to read even more and ask you some questions. That there was you, this person in our studio. She created beautiful clothing, unusual clothing, and just we remember them. Very, very memorable clothes.
Well, definitely Clueless. People remember that movie, which, put me on the map, kind of started my whole Hollywood career, and it was pretty amazing. I got an agent after that, and, everybody wrote about the film. And
agent later, before you, how this happened? Normally in Hollywood, everybody's running, I need an agent. Nobody has managers because manager makes money when you make money. Then they're like, not yet. You got a manager, then tell us this big break, because that's what makes the life very exciting, to get the break in Hollywood. That's all what we are talking about. How?
I think it's, being at the right time at the right place and working hard. I've done many little movies before Clueless, and, little television shows, commercials, music videos. I worked very, very hard, and the door opened. I met Amy Heckerling on a small project. It was a pilot for television, and the pilot didn't get picked up. But we met, we fell in love with each other, creatively we just really were in sync. And when she wrote Clueless, she called me up and said, you're the girl, I want someone like you who knows European style, European fashion, has kind of the understanding of the runways, and, has a little bit more of a worldly point of view, which it's a funny word now, everything is worldly, but, that was 20 years ago. It wasn't really computerized. We didn't have style.com, it really was a different world that we were working with. But it was that break, it really was that break.
But when you saying worldly, you really deserve this world, because you were born in India.
I was in Calcutta. Yes, I was born in
How
India.
long
Calcutta.
did you stay in India?
I was there till I was 3 years old. I did used to speak Bengali, but I don't remember the native language. But I moved to Poland when I was 3. I lived in Warsaw, and then as a teenager I moved to Germany. I lived in Berlin before the wall was down, which was quite a great
Interesting.
experience.
Did you, of course, you left with parents, yes?
Yes.
Both
yes.
of parents?
One parent.
One
yeah,
parent,
one parent.
Mama. Mama is
Yes.
yes. And did Mama had some influence over what you wanted to do in life? Or
No,
this
I
just
think I was born this way. I think, when I was a little kid, I was drawing pictures of princesses in different outfits, and I was making, telling my mom what to wear, rearranging her closet. I mean, I think it was just like, for some reason it
You
was
were born
there.
this way.
I didn't know I wanted to do costumes. I really wanted to do fashion. That was my first kind of, thing that I learned, and I read every magazine, and And then when I got to, to school in the States, I was in New York, and then I came to Los Angeles, and I met a bunch of people who were in film school. And they were like, oh, you doing fashion, help me with my little thesis film or my graduate film. I was like, okay. And, those little experiences really started building my interest, and I loved it. I loved the collaborative process of filmmaking, to working with the script, with the director, with actors, creating this really personality as, a psychological portrait of that person. It's like, taking the page of the script and now bringing it to life, with the human body involved too, which is, kind of a whole another issue that you have to deal with. It's very unpredictable,
Yeah, I think people, I know a lot of entertainment business. I'm so many years, always, that's all what I was doing in Poland, in Europe, and now in America for 20-something years, and always around the artists and very known names, and seeing them coming to my home, looking always different than normal people on a street. I liked it to be this way in my own country when people were more conservative, but because I was touring, mostly in Germany too, I was always buying clothing. They were on a sale because I didn't make a lot of money, but I still was working as a singer proudly. But I was, people liked me, then I was going to this boutique, that boutique, and they would say, oh, if you come in 3 weeks or something, we'll be on a sale. Then I knew what I wanted, and I knew something about me. I don't want to be dressed as people on the street. I always wanted some twist to my real life. Then I don't know why. My mom was sewing my clothing for the stage too. Then my mom was just simple, beautiful lady, and nobody taught her how to. But somehow she did this. Then I had leather, metals, and just a very, very rocky style, who knows what, why. But, I believe that we create our vision for ourselves in the beginning, sometimes not so good vision, because I remember very bad choices and crazy choices, and people can see one of the first of my shows that I tried to be so like, oh my gosh, so Hollywood, and I had this big hair, and a year ago, even, you can laugh. But that's me. Then we need to take a chance, and then somebody will tell you, tone down. If you like somebody who tells you that you trust them and say, maybe you're right. If not, you still are doing your things. Then it doesn't matter. Matter is that street and artists look always special. And that's what I liked in America also. Then when the big names were coming to our place and we were working with them, they had the smell, they had the look, they had the little tiny shawls, they had something that separate them like artists. You knew right away it's an artist. And then you talk to them, is this them? And say, in the beginning was like Ilona, funky hair or something. Then they had the people who just show them what looks good on them. They saw themselves in the movies or on a stage in certain clothing that looked good, felt good, like then later you'll be talking about this, how important it is for actor to feel like they're in the right skin, second skin, and that's I'm like, I thought you don't care about that. Somebody says you need to look this way, you better feel good in that because you're an actor. But you really want to help them. A very amazing topic. And then, like I say, looking at Rose, we admire her look because she is beautiful lady, but she's beautiful, but still, I know she dressed herself for the occasion. She knew, not radio has nothing, but I believe if we'll not have video shows, she still will look identical, gorgeous, just different, and she will just be ready for entertaining not only us as an actor, her as a person. And I just admire this about creative people. When it comes to our very, very handsome actor, young actor, he looks great. He's got great shirt and has identical color, how you call this, vest? That matches.
Thank you.
Great shoes, great pants. It's just so important. I'm trying to be, I was scared of Mona because I'm like, oh my gosh, if I look like little Ilona that I can be, then she'll say, woohoo, what is this? Then I'm like, okay, little boring, but no, not boring. It's just, I knew I want to be conservative more, and I'm feeling fine. That's also part of me. But we have these young artists who are just entering LA. I'm here 20 years and surviving, which is very hard for some Americans, saying, how do you do this, Ilona, that you're still paying your bills by writing songs, selling them, creating, teaching, or making radio or singing? How do you do that? I don't know. Never question, never second thought. I just do what I think I can and who I am. But you started your career, yes, Rose. You were actor in Berlin.
Yes, I studied acting in Germany, in Berlin, for 3 years. And between that, I did some feature movies, student movies, and I play a lot in the theater. Even a movie which I was playing there, God is Still There, Florence is the name. Even though the movie won an award where I was like one of the main character, it's like, oh wow. But for myself, I felt I want to go somewhere else where it's a little bit warmer. Don't take me wrong, I love Germany, but it's cold.
Yes.
We are really decided I have to go somewhere where it's warmer. I remember me in Berlin, in my small apartment there, it was so cold. Out of nowhere, my toilet window exploded from the
frozen.
cold. And I was like, this is going to be my last winter. That was the calling. Yeah. So yeah, now I've been here since 3.5 years. And I'm really appreciate being here. I feel so comfortable. I feel like home. Like I say, I was born in Kenya. I grew up in Germany. But the first time here in Hollywood is where I feel that's here.
It's
In all
international,
Hollywood,
it's
yeah, it's
welcoming,
international.
and you have right to fail, and you have right
Exactly.
to be reborn again over and over again. I like that about LA. Just nobody judges you when you can say, "Oh gosh, didn't happen. I tried, and didn't happen." And everybody says, "One day, we'll just do it. We understand the drive. We
Yeah.
understand the creative drive. I think even people on the street understand actors and their hard way of life.
Yes.
It's not easy, but if you win, whatever the win is in Hollywood is like winning with the best,
Yeah.
Yes.
and that's I think is
Absolutely.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay, then we know a little bit your life story. We know you are here only 2.5 years, yes, 2 or 3 years,
Yeah, 3 years.
and I know both of you are actors from the Whitefire Theatre, which we had 5 people from heads, the very important people from this theater, and I was just so surprisingly proud of the way how this theater operates, and it's in Sherman Oaks. Our studio is in Sherman Oaks, and I felt like maybe this is a reason we need to say more about this theater in this little beautiful studio. Now I have a beautiful actors here, great actors. And things are happening in this theater, exciting things. This theater is little different. It's for profit. They don't reach out for money. They survive from what they do, which means the art, and theater is thriving for 20-something years, I understand. It's just a special place. I will see the shorts, which some of you need to talk one more time about. Summer's very special, and I will go and see it. I'm so excited, and then you all need to explain us what is this that makes Whitefire Theater different from many.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is a little different. I mean, most short festivals, you get a lot of drawn out 20-minute, 25-minute shorts plays, or sort of one-act festivals. What Wi-Fi does is kind of ups the quantity, and the quality never drops. So you have a bunch of little 10-minute scenes that are just wham, bam, one after the other, a lot of different topics, a lot of edgy content, content that needs to be heard, but a lot of fun content. So for guys like me, I get to jump in there and do a lot of different characters, maybe I'm from New York, it's something, or maybe I'm playing the German casting director in Darlings. That's good enough for me, of course. Stuff like that, and it's a lot of explorative features for a lot of people, and it's inclusive for people with unique accents like Rose, where she can come in and really play. Just in the last round, her character was correcting an English speaker on grammar, and here she is with a very thick accent. So it's a lot of different fun things. And for a guy like me that spent the childhood being his own friend, because he just lived kind of isolated, playing a lot of different characters, this is a great way for me to finally put those characters out there and finally give them the chance that they've been wanting, instead of just hanging out in my head. And so Whitefire actually has some more summer shorts coming up at the end of June. It's going to be really fun. I hope everybody can come make it out and show support for the arts. It's a 99-seat theater. You can get your tickets online, brownpapertickets.com, $20. And it'll be running for about a month every Tuesday. And we'll also be part of the Fringe Festival that's coming up in June as well. With Rose will be in that, as well as I will be in there for the few select pieces. So it's a great way to check out some quick theater that's really funny, with a lot of great talent and a lot of great directors. Obviously, Jacob Flaherty and Brian Rasmussen, who headed up and produced it. Really great guys, and really provide a great ensemble environment for us to work together in that collaborative piece with people that are in-house costume designers, writers, directors, and actors, of course. So it's a really fun experience.
Very, very powerful pitch.
Yeah.
Very powerful. You both are staying in this theater for 2 years. Something is going on well there. Something
it's
there. You
wonderful.
have a family, and I understood from the previous interview that, like you mentioned, inclusion of artists from the beginning for everything practically what's happening on the stage is almost 100%. Everybody's doing something, not only acting. Whatever you are strong with. You like to write. Rose like to write. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Then you are writing something.
Yes, I wrote for the last show. The name was 50 Shades of Grey.
Very funny too.
Yeah, and what was about? It was about me writing this script about myself. I'm from Africa, living here, United States, with my accent, where I get confused with some words because you actually wanna translate some of the words from your other language into English,
Yes.
but it doesn't work.
Doesn't.
Like, so some words should make sense to you. For me, it was like just to say I look like a deer in the red lights. It makes sense. There's a deer. There is the lights of the car. So why? How do you say that?
A deer in the headlights.
Headlights. I don't get that.
Red
Why headlights?
lights.
So,
Right head. What like?
Red
So,
lights
yeah,
is something
on the
different.
head.
so like, even though like, who was playing my fiance there, a white American guy, where his family doesn't know how Africa looks like. They think like everybody's running naked there and running after the chicken, to cut them. They have to eat all the time chicken. So actually, it was really, really funny for me to have this. To write that people really liked it, and I had the chance that Hollywood Hollywood Times were there, the journalist, and they wrote about my piece, about my acting too, and I really appreciate that.
That's what I think. I didn't ask this leading question if accent prohibits you to be an actor or helps you to maybe be acknowledged even more, or will this be troublesome for you, or do you need to kill your accent? Some people have this ability, so study to not have an accent, and they can do both. But to me, world and LA is the place that accent shines, and I think if they let us be who we are, because that's what street is, all of our neighbors, everybody is, we are accustomed to hearing people speaking this way. We don't question when we order something why they're not perfect in English. When we are going to, brain surgery or something, and you have somebody from India, geniuses, and we are so thankful they communicate in any language with us because we want them for what they're good at. Then I think the appreciation and inclusiveness, is this English? Do I say good? Hey,
Nailed
I
it.
use some good word,
Nailed
what I'm saying? But fact is, I feel like I can be included here, and the radio, especially the 3 years of Accent On, proved to me that people like vulnerability. They have no problem with somebody being not so perfect if they're honest, and that's all what we can sell, the honesty. And then you will be in summer, both of you, yes, on a stage.
Yeah.
We can see both of you in your pieces, 10 minutes pieces.
Yes.
And you can go for 2 hours. It means that you see, what?
About 10, about
Oh my
10
God.
pieces or so, or a little bit more with
10.
intermission and such, yeah.
This is a very good idea. I think I like it.
Oh, it's great.
Okay, Mona. Because obvious, we are so again, I'm repeating, people of your caliber have no time in life for anything, and just getting you here from Hollywood and just being on the 2 shows means a lot to Accent On and to me also personally. And
Happy to be
knowing
here.
that you are Polish also is
Yes.
like home, away from home, and knowing that you are successful is, we have a lot of Polish people who are doing well in this business. We are very proud of them, but they don't scream too much. I'm coming from Poland, I'm Polish. It's just the same, it's lack of maybe not being proud, but speak out loud,
Right,
because so
right.
many talented people. We want to know about them. We want to know that you are from Kenya. We
Yes,
know we want to
yes.
know you are from America, but you can speak 50 languages. We want to know more about people behind what they do, and you do so much. We were talking a little bit about Clueless, that you got this break because of working with, like always in life, if somebody likes you and respect what you did, even when something didn't happen perfectly with a pilot, the next movie was yours.
Yes.
And how free you were in Clueless to decide what clothes and clothing, what style you want to present on a Reese?
Yeah, it was a crazy
she's
experience.
She's gorgeous, having
yeah,
her
Alicia
as a...
Silverstone was amazing to dress. I mean, she really was.
Yeah, Alicia, she is a typical, I think, actor that American people like. She is the the face, everything sweet,
pretty hair, innocent.
Yes, but you made her a little bit, like, your way, bit where you put her in a certain clothes that later the clothes were appreciated on
a little attitude. She had to have a little attitude.
But you created the style. You created the Vogue. You created the style. Then how this happened? You had no plan to do that. You wanted only a movie, or you thought this could be the next it?
Well, we really didn't set out to be it. We wanted to do something that's really great for the script, and the script really called for these fashionable girls living in Beverly Hills and having so much money that they just could go to Europe and buy any clothes, and the designers' clothes, Dolce & Gabbana, Jean-Paul Gaultier of the time, Alaya dress as she had in the film. So it was a very interesting thing to push this envelope in this movie when you don't usually have that chance in films to really bring the runway fashion to the script, to the screen. And what was interesting too, it was very important to blend the high fashion with actual high school girls. So they looked sweet. They still look young and youthful and fun instead of being like, models walking around in high heels and falling down. It really had to be real. You wanted to really love the characters. You want to emulate the characters. You want to, feel for the characters. Again, like we talked before, it's so important for the costume designer to find the right balance for each actor, for each character. So, they don't feel like dressed mannequins. They really feel human. So it was a fine balance in this movie to find the high fashion, to bring something super innovative and fresh, something from the future. So when the movie comes out a year later after being, in post-production, it's still fresh. It still sets new trends.
I want to listen to you and listen to you. It's
so fascinating.
It's really beautiful,
awesome.
fascinating. Yeah, we know, ladies, we all know how important clothing are for us. For guys, maybe a little bit less. It's a lot of great, a little less. Maybe we really put a lot of time into and thoughts about what.
But I think for men too, I think it really is nowadays, especially. I think it's really expression of self. It really is who you are. I mean, in the old days, you had more of a trend, and you had to be a certain way and wear the skirt this way or that way.
And now it's like, no, you can mix and match.
Now I think you really can mix, match, and you have periods. I mean, 70s mixed with 60s and with 50s and 1920s, and colors and patterns that are in the old days it would be like, oh, you can't put brown and black, or orange and pink, and now it's like it's all hopefully one has good enough taste to do it tastefully, because it can become sometimes like, whoa, it's too much. So find balance, but I think the expression of self is wonderful, that you really are free to do it now, free however you are accepted, with crazy hair and beautiful, bright lips and a lot of color. And I think it's really freeing. I think it's freeing to the young people. I think it's we can inspire each other. I mean, we talked about walking on the street and being inspired by strangers and funky cool stuff that I only mentally file down in there for a character someday I have to dress. So I think street can inspire. Film can inspire. I mean, I always try to be very fresh in my movies. So when audience watch it, it's like, oh, I want that.
Yes,
this is so cool, I wonder where she got this. And now you have websites where you can actually log in and find out where the actors, what costumes they wear, what brand it is. I mean, it's quite phenomenal.
Wow,
I mean, there's such a crossover now with, especially in television, where each weekly, actors wear certain clothes, and that can be filed and purchased.
Great branding, great marketing.
Yeah,
you
it's
can go
pretty
straight from the
amazing,
movie to the stores right away. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how many movies? What can you give us names of the actors that we all know and love? You dressed. And I'm not saying favorites because
was Amy Adams. I mean, Susan Sarandon, Patrick Dempsey, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, come on.
Of course, Alicia Silverstone we spoke about, but I mean, the list goes on. I can't even remember. I mean, Eddie Murphy, Nick Cage. It's
and Right? Love of my life, love tiny little with long hair, love of our
Stuart
life.
Little, who was really the most fun actor to dress because he never spoke back. Everything I put on him, he loved. He never complained. He was perfect. I loved
You're
him
so
forever.
comfortable, so very voguish and cute
Yes.
and beautifully. And you
Yes.
said they wanted him to look like he was buying
Clothes from the Gap.
What a
Little
commercial.
zip-up hoodies, jeans, his little backpack. He always wore the red Converse, which was kind of his signature look. So he had his own little fashion style going, and then special pajamas that he wore, his little plaid pajamas or the, little soccer balls because he loved soccer. So, it was just, it was quite amazing movie to work on because it was my first foray into CGI, which is computer generated designs. So you actually never make the clothes in real, like with fabric. You really sketch everything, and then you work with the illustrators, the computer guys who create, mathematically in 3D all the clothes. Then I come in and I tailor inside. I'm like, okay, move that up. The armhole here. His pants are a little too low. And then what you can do too, you can really play with the fabric. Because the way that you can manipulate, so let's say the jacket could be cotton, the pants, we had actually issue with the pants because they were too soft, so they were kind of like billowing as he walked. So from the knee down, we actually stiffened the material. So we could really, kind of alter reality a little bit, which, and there's no gravity, which is very interesting. When I did Enchanted, we had a big thing because the animators who drew the two-dimensional designs, you can draw anything into the 2D because there is no gravity. But then I had to make the costumes in live action on human bodies with real gravity. One of the characters they drew was in a little tights and he had a little tunic. I'm like, our actor weighs 250 pounds. I don't think he's going to be running around, Times Square and in heat in his little tights. So we need to really kind of, rethink and redesign this costume, which think stuff that we don't really think about on a daily basis, what we have to do. And as a designer, it's a quite amazing job because you have to,
You're smiling all the time. When you speak, your eyes are smiling, your cheeks are
love
up.
it.
You
I
love it. You are not
I love
tired
it.
of it. It's
Never.
just, and all of us, we really love what we do,
Yeah.
and we want to please people with things that we do. That's it.
Well, please people, I think but it's more than that. I think it's really about creativity and getting together. I think actors and directors and, actors and actors together and rehearsing and, reading the script, what's on the page, what is the production designer doing, what is the cinematographer doing, what kind of lenses is he going to use, what are the colors of the walls. It's phenomenal how much goes into it, and how collaborative that process is. So to me, it's not about pleasing, it's about really co-creating. So you come together, it's like, oh, I have this idea, you have that idea, you bring this to the table. Oh, and then, the actor can say, no, but I think, if he walks with a hunch or, his leg or something, and you're like, wow, okay, let's make the pants shorter, or, let's put the boot, maybe has a little extra platform, so it helps you move a certain way. For dancers, I have to make sure that they can move, so there's like stretch in the clothes. And I've done a lot of comedies, and, comedic actors move in a very different way.
Wider.
Wider, yeah. They like dancers, louder, So, the pants could be splitting in a minute, It's quite phenomenal. So it's really...
So many movies.
Yeah.
So many movies that you made. I just need my glasses. Okay.
I don't even know how many. I have to really count. I've gotten that question before. How many films have I made? And I don't know. I don't remember. I must count.
Whitney.
Oh, Whitney was wonderful. That was a TV movie about Whitney's life, and it was just, wonderful to design for iconic character that everybody knows. I can't make a mistake because everybody knows what she wore to her wedding. I had to recreate that. What she wore to the Grammys in 1996. Or 1986 even.
Was this movie that Wendy Williams produced? There was this one?
No.
This was another one.
But it's again different process. So instead of like imagining something and completely fantasizing, you have to go to research. You have to go into history.
It's only 2000. You say 2015. I see 2014. I see what I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. You're so
Busy.
busy. You're so busy. And
That's fine.
okay, I would say 1 hour shorts, maybe longer than 10 minutes, but still shorts, and we'll give you one less or half less. That's still, it's like 12 months in vacation or something you have ever. It's like you're working constantly. Then you have 2013. You get little break. 2012, 11, busy. You're going down. And then, of course, oh my gosh.
Well,
oh
when
my
there's
gosh,
a,
oh my
maybe
gosh.
not there, then there's a television that I do, and then there's commercials that I do. So
Oh
you know,
my
maybe you're not
gosh.
seeing.
So it's amazing. No, I'm talking about headache that films brings, and it's beautiful headache because you love what you do. But this is not only. Like I thought she's drawing and say that's how it needs to be. No.
I
That,
wish.
you know, we
Just walk in, point. Okay, thank you.
We
I'll
have-
see you later when it's ready.
yeah, we have 3 ninjas. I'm just picking up because I know style for the movies are so different. Everything what you do is different. You know, when it comes to ninjas, it's completely something different. Clueless, completely something different. Then we have also Wedding Singer, which we
Adam
love.
Sandler,
Oh, my
so much fun. You
No,
know.
that's apropos, guys. Then Enchanted, that's just amazing movie. Haunted House. I still believe people need to a little bit hear the technicality and technology that came into this movie to make the vision that you had and
Yeah, it
probably
was,
director had.
Again, it's creativity. It's bringing something to the table, and that was really a wonderful experience because I got to work with the same director. He directed Stuart Little too. So when you have a shorthand, when somebody trusts you, there's a little bit more room to play. You know, you don't have to prove yourself so much. They already know. They will be more open to different ideas. Because sometimes you have to test the ideas. Not always you know that they're going to work. And this case was such a wonderful project in the film where the director wanted the ghost in the graveyard to glow, and he didn't want to use a CGI effect, which now kind of is the rigor on every film. But he was smart. He wanted something more organic. So what I brought to the table is the stuff called Scotch Light that's on the road signs and tennis shoes. It comes in different forms, like a thread, tape, even fabric now. Pharrell wore an outfit made of that fabric to one of the Grammys, which was really interesting, that reflective fabric. So it's a reflective material that reflects the light back to your eye when the light hits it straight forward. And what it is microscopic glass beads, so it looks like a gray powder. And I mixed that with paint and then applied on costumes that I made and designed for all the graveyards. So it was big ball gowns, and it was a king and queen and a teacher child. All the characters that you guys remember from going to Disney and seeing. And we hand painted each costume. It was, maybe following the lace pattern or plaid pattern. Gloves were outlined, earrings were outlined.
Could you clean if you made mistake, or there was like if you did, there was
No, you
over-
could.
That's
Yeah,
it.
but the process was very interesting because you had to paint with the light, then you had to turn the light off, take the flashlight and see what you're doing. We were testing it with the camera, and the camera had to have a ring of light around the lens, so it reflected straight into the camera.
Beautiful.
So it was fantastic.
We
I
don't
mean,
know these things, and we go to movies like, oh, cool, this glows. Before the took
Right.
year.
Right, and
Sometimes you
it's
get
nice
this
that it's something also more organic. I think that I think as audience, it's nice to show them something a little different. We are used to now the blow, Superman movies and Marvel stuff. It's nice when you can bring something that is creative on a different level that creates a little bit of a magic, and I think that's what I love about my films, because it's like an Enchanted. You have 2D animation, a flat old hand-drawn animation that turns into live action, then you have Haunted Mansion with this weird effect. You have Stuart Little with the CGI costumes, made computer-generated costumes. So this is what's fun, it's very different process for each film. It's learning, it's being kind of like an explorer, and that's, there's no day that I
And
can
then
be
you don't know
bored.
what you are getting into, because when you have a
Completely.
movie, then you say, okay, now and
Completely.
now, brain,
Completely.
freeze or brain open
Yes.
and do this. Oh gosh, so cool. I don't want to be in your head, although I would like to visit.
Yes,
for once in a
anytime.
while.
I think we are visiting right now.
Yes, already. That sounds so good. I also would love to know how is your normal day when you have maybe one moment of don't want to think anymore about design. I want my life to be for second. normal, if we can call this normal, but probably you have this moment. I want to know how you're spending your own day from moment when you wake up. Somehow I think everything's
Well,
around.
you know what? It's all about animals for me. I love animals. I have a dog. His name is Mishu, which is Polish. And
Mishu
he's a
bear.
miniature husky. And he travels with me to all the films. He goes to New York and Atlanta, and he stays on the wardrobe truck, and he sits on the lift gate in the back and greets everybody. He comes
Must
to
be
fittings.
very well behaving.
He's an incredibly behaved dog.
How
and I
old
have-
is your baby
He's
bear?
5 now.
Okay, he's a baby.
And he's really the wardrobe mascot. I have a cat at home who always waits and wants to be fed. I have a beautiful garden and grapefruit tree, and I tend when I can to my beautiful flowers. I meditate. I hike. I think it's
Okay.
really have to find kind of this inner process to get through all of that and kind of come down and kind of I think allow enough space and quiet for other things to come
I
up.
love that when you say.
I think
Then
it's really.
did you ever had anxiety attack? Like you
Sometimes
couldn't
on
breathe?
set, I mean, when things
You
are
did.
going crazy and it's like, 300 answers have to happen in 1 second, and, there's disaster there, and there's this, a lot can happen. So I really, that's why I practice meditation. So there's somewhat a place where I can go to in the moment and go, okay, I'm going to take a breath right now. And put that moment of a space of that breath before.
Yeah,
you know,
I would
it all
love to
kind
learn
of-
that. I think it's so important. I think I'm getting older, and I'm teaching myself to just stop, Ilona. Tomorrow is different day. You'll not remember what pissed me off, sorry, in
Yes,
moment. But
yes.
it's hard when you're in a moment like
moment,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
think, and then your heart, everything's like,
Yeah, yeah, and I
but
think-
why? Just make this moment, like you say.
Well, on the set is
Yeah.
a lot of money involved because I
Yes.
mean, the problem is when something is not going right. There's camera that's they have to pay for all the actors. All the crew is getting paid, so it could be
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars a minute even. So if something is happening and wardrobe is not on time, they're not going to look at the girl who messed up. They're going to come to me and
Look
Mona
at
May.
you.
Hey, we're waiting. Where is this stuff? And there's little people still sewing in the back. Like or something. That didn't go well. So the pressure is big. I mean, it's not just your own self pressure that you already have to be perfect and want to do it right. So it's intense. But the breathing and meditation and kind of reflecting, and I think kind of giving yourself a break, like you say, you know what, got done. Everything is okay now, another beautiful day, you wake up
you
and have a coffee.
cooking?
And I cook. I love making soups. I'm so Polish.
Me
so,
too.
Soup.
Soup, every day.
Oh,
I have Brussels.
Yes.
No, Brussels.
Brussels
Yes, that's right.
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh.
And very tiny little spaghetti, like rolls, tiny little Italian, like Italian style.
Yes.
I just discovered them in a store. They're much better than normal spaghetti. And I cooked at 12 at night last night because I have a daughter and she loves my soups. And lunch, I'm making her lunch for her. And she's grown up, but still lunch is Polish soup.
Yeah.
Soups are good.
Yeah, I love soups.
Very
and
good.
It keeps, and I can make one on Sunday and eat all week. Come home late, warm it up. It's like have it with the dog and a cat and a friend on the bed and just relax.
Oh, gosh. Okay, we like your lifestyle. This
You
way.
got to. I think that
You get it.
otherwise it's heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, you've seen people. My agent recently just had a heart attack, and it's like, he didn't eat right, he didn't exercise, he didn't take the break, and it was a four bypass. It's like,
Oh, wow.
What about the young, gorgeous people? Do you exercise?
Well-
Do you eat well?
Oh,
Do you think about
yeah.
what we are talking about? Do you?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think since I moved to LA, everything is about being healthy.
Yeah.
You see, like people working out. If you don't work out, it's like you don't work out. You don't have a gym member. You don't go for a hike. I mean, what normal is still like if you're going on a date, you go for a hike.
yeah.
This is what I love about that here. Meditation too. I never did meditation before, and here yoga meditation makes you. This is how you can start your day, and makes you like really be different in taking care of what you eat, organic or not organic. Before
You
I
do?
was like, oh yeah, before I was like I didn't care.
She's not lying.
I'm not lying. I can even like get red if I'm like, no.
Okay.
I think it's very, very important to take care of what you're eating and exercise.
Well,
That's
it's
right.
mental. I think it's mental. It's like your body is
Yeah,
everything. I think
because you feel so fresh
Yeah.
after that.
Devin,
So
what
good.
about your muscles? Are you exercising
Well,
other day?
I had a very active sports-filled younger life, so it actually kind of beat the crap out of me. So these days, I'm kind of falling apart a little sooner than I'd like. So eating healthy, stretch, and working out is very important to me at this point because I've got hopefully a nice long life ahead of me that I want to be in one piece for.
You both are free. I would say not, how you say, not married.
No, not married. Not married.
Not married.
And so I've got plenty
No
of time
kids.
to work out. no
Exactly.
kids, no
Have
kids. So I'm
time
not pulling
for
my hair out
that.
yet.
Then
but,
your
yeah.
day to day, when you wake up in the morning, do you have a plan, or you know what is going into this day of you are searching for commercial, you are looking for casting? How does it work? You have agents, both of you have agents, and how does this work right now? Because you need to have special visa, yes? Are you already?
Yes. I have a one visa. This
Okay.
is an artist visa
Yes.
for 3 years. So for me, I can only work here as an artist, as an actress, nothing else. So like for me, if I wake up in the morning, the first thing I want to do is go into the gym. After that, start my day. But you cannot really plan your day because sometimes you get a phone from your agent, your manager. You have an audition right now. Okay, go. You cannot really plan. You have to be ready. You have to prepare because it's the important thing. You want to prepare. You don't want to come on an audition being unprepared. What is not good. LA, Hollywood is still small. You'll get a stamp on that on your head, and they will know about that.
And do you see over and over the same people in a waiting room, and this makes you like sad, or like you never meet the same people? How big is this world?
I see the same one. And one day I went to an audition and I was like, oh my God, I have to call my mother. She never told me I have like 5 sisters because we all look the same.
Type,
But
okay.
what makes me different from all others is my accent.
Beautiful.
And this is
It's real.
that what you cannot fake or trying to do anything with that. So if you go on there, just be prepared and you know exactly you have an accent. This is how I got booked here. I was shooting for ABC because of my accent. They were like, and the funny thing is like, even though they say we want an African girl from Kenya, and there's not a lot of them like that here.
God, thank you.
Yeah, not just
We have one.
We found you.
Everybody finds you.
We
Yes, on
found you.
Whitefire, the theater website. Everybody see Rose, and she's from Kenya. She's beautiful. She got it all, an accent, real one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then, if we would love to know more about you, Mona, I don't think so. You are looking for people to contacting you left and right from somewhere that you don't expect.
I have a website, and they can always contact me through my website. Any questions, I will answer. You know, and I love giving back. It's very important. You know, I mentor a lot of young students and graduates, and you know, I lecture a lot. I feel that, you know, I can help. And when you hear sometimes that someone was inspired by you to go into this field, you know, to costume design because they've seen my movies, and it feels amazing. It really feels like, you know, my life was worth something, and all the hard work that I put into that many years really mean a lot, you know.
How
It's
can you say
fantastic.
goodbye to some costumes that you just probably work so hard and they're so special? You cannot have them, like in your closet?
No, and you know what? It's like a baby. You
Let it go.
You gotta let it go. You just have to let it go. It's on to the
And
next.
then in the morning you saw the same dress, you know, somewhere, you know, like boom, on the street, you know. No, you don't have any duplication or something that is like
no,
duplicate.
I'm always
no.
on to the next. It's on to the next. What's
Then your
next, you know?
personal style when it comes to your clothing, how you would describe how you
I
dress
think
yourself?
very eclectic. I think that influenced by all the places that I've traveled to. You know, I think that sometimes it's a little bit Indian, it's a little bit, you know, European, and I think timelessness too. I think something that's very kind
Then
of
when you
chic,
open your
know.
closet, it's not black, 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 black,
No,
black, 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 black.
I love color. I
Hollywood.
mean, I think that you look at my movies. You know, I'm a colorist. I
You
paint
like
with
colors.
I love it.
I love
So, you
colors
know,
too. It's
yeah.
just people more and more, I think. that
Yes, I
pink
mean,
is
this
really
pink
just
is gorgeous.
Wow, so
you.
beautiful.
Perfect.
Thank
yes.
you.
Okay, my beautiful, beautiful, young, talented humans, actors, great, wonderful, sweet people, because we know that you cannot fake sweetness. You both are very nice people.
Thank
Then
you.
how people can find you? And one more time, if somebody wants to hire you for maybe you could be journalist, you can be school teacher, it happen, you have a great accent. You could have any accent that anybody you want.
Whatever
but
you want.
And you're a comedian, you like to be a comedian, you play a little bit piano, he can sing a little bit, what I found out, then obvious. You have all of you, both of you have a lot to offer, and we can see you again one more time. When?
The Whitefire Theater, we're starting at the end of June, every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, all throughout June, we'll be performing multiple theaters for the Fringe Festival. So there's multiple ways to see us there, and all that information is online at either whitefiretheater.com or brownpapertickets.com. And of course, to reach out to me personally, you can reach me at dcalderoni@gmail. And so always available for.
And your name one more time?
You can reach me under my manager's phone number. Her number is 818-404-2455. Her name is LD, the Dean's List.
Beautiful. And your name again?
My name is Rose Wakesho.
Mona May, your name is very easy to remember, and I hope everybody now can put face and clothing together and knowing how colorful, beautiful person you are. And right now, before I say also bye-bye, we need to play a little commercial for Poland, because Poland really loves, Poland, this is financial institution that has a Polish roots, but always open the doors for Europeans and whoever wants to come and put money there. But they like and sponsor artists, they sponsor film festivals, they do so many good things for artists and for culture. Then I think we need to talk about people like that here. But for right now, ILONA EUROPA host Accent on the best of Poland and Europe and the rest of the world with the bestest guest ever. Thank you so much for today. Poland. Bye-bye.
How would you like to own a financial institution? The Poland Federal Credit Union is a member-owned financial institution that serves exclusively the Southern California region, with offices in Los Angeles and Orange. Like banks, Poland accepts deposits, makes loans, and provides financial services. The credit union is federally insured by the NCUA and is an equal opportunity lender. Unlike banks, Poland is nonprofit, which means better rates and lower fees, as well as great personalized customer service. After all, when you're a member, you're also an owner. We'd love to hear from you. Visit us at polam.org. Poland Federal Credit Union, bringing the charm of Europe to Southern California.
You're listening to Accent on TV. Best of Poland and Europe. Right here on LA Talk Radio.